Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cities Skylines, the 1 hour a day build, with me, your host and insane mayor, Zerberus, in the town of Lifstrom. So, last episode, we finally finished, well, we didn't finish, but we were continuing to expand our university. We expanded our residential space a little bit, and yeah. That's basically what we're going to continue to do. So let me grab a quick drink, and then we'll get right to it. Make sure there's the chat. So let it run. We'll raise all of this up just a hair. This stuff that just flooded here, because this is still flooding from the last time we started the map. And we just want to make sure that what's basically the coast of our inside city later doesn't wind up being what gets flooded. Whoops. That was actually just fine the way it was. Except for that wee little corner right there. That may cause some flooding in some other areas, like for example over here. Yeah, just because the result of the terraforming should go down real quick. And we will of course eventually get some mild flooding again once everything starts. And yeah, oh, that's right, because I never even restarted the client, is because I'm actually filming this right after the last episode. We unfortunately don't have sound. I just didn't think to actually take a look at that. Sorry for that, but next episode we should have our sound back. I think it's interesting. I mean, again, we started with sound, and now all we really have left is ambient. Yeah, but that's really minor. That's not a problem. So our primary issue is not enough workers, and that's also primarily down in the industry areas, right? Because we may want to see if we can't add some more residential space, like down in here somewhere. Maybe knock out some of this commercial. Or put some residential. That's the waste treatment facility and everything. This isn't really a place where anybody would realistically want to live, I don't think. But I think we can get a little tongue still in there. Yeah, that's not something that bothers us, though, the space already being occupied. Yeah, that will be much more zoning, so we will go for that. What's a story on ground pollution there? Well, it only gets over to right here, so. And you know what? Exactly, since they have absolutely nothing in the way of parks, we'll at least give them like a doggy park in here. To make them at least mildly happy. In fact, maybe we'll add another one up here in the industry zone. No, we won't put parks in the industry area just because we can, but we can also add just a little bit more space in here, which will then also give us more zoning and a space for another doggy park. A half-flooded doggy park. I'm actually going to want to do this. And that's actually not going to help. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Oh, because Anarchy's probably still on, right? No, has nothing to do with that. So we're just going to have this perpetually partially flooded doggy park, apparently. Which is kind of hilarious. But, okay. We'll leave it in there. So, what's the story on University? Still not really getting the workforce upgrades we need. Anywhere else we might be able to toss in some more residential? Not really. At least not reasonably. Aside from, like, maybe these two shops. But I mean, that's like nothing. Yeah, there isn't really much more residential space we can get back in here. What is... oh, that's from that, yeah. I mean, it's not that it's a huge problem that we don't have residential space back in here. It's just a problem that we don't have quite enough people able to get to their jobs over here. In fact, no, that's not going to work. Public transportation is basically the biggest issue. And that a lot of... oh, that's right. And we also... we took out the schools out policy. So as a result, we have many, many more students coming to the university than we might necessarily have to. Let's see if we can't get that number down a little bit. And as a result, yeah, and immediately our industry, our no workers numbers start to go down. So that's exactly what the problem was. We took the schools out, we put the schools out policy off so that we could fill our university, and then we forgot that we also need people in, again, industry and stuff like that. 3 weeks, and then we get the next level. So that's running just fine. 4 buildings have flooding. Where are those? Over here. Is that a result of terraforming, or is that an actual problem? Well, it's not. It's not a major problem, apparently. We'll keep an eye on it as the city progresses. That is a problem right there. And the rest seems to, for the most part, be doing fine. Commercials coming back in. Getting less and less no workers complaints. Getting more and more population. We're up to 140k now, which is nice. So we may wind up starting to open up one of these sooner than we expected. And yeah, we are 1 week away from the end of the academic year, so I'll just take a quick sip. And we can then enjoy the fruits of their labors in just a few days. And then expand the university just a little bit more. Raise our tuition just a little bit more, and we may even then be able to completely stop working on academic works, which would then just give us we'll stop working on them per se. We now have 15 dollars per student, auditorium, bookstore, and laboratories. And we now get sponsorship deals for our... okay, so now we need 1,800 attractiveness. We only need 1,800 students. That's a total non-issue. And we need 16 academic works. So we'll keep working on the academic works. Also give that... oh, that may have been the mistake, that we completely forgot to do that. And now we will add the final touches, basically. Oh, well, not the final touches, but we're getting there. There's a bookstore. We'll settle that in over here, I think. I think that'll work nicely. Laboratories. So we're going to want some paths coming back in through here again. And the auditorium. In fact, this is actually where we will... well, no, because we're still going to get the School of Science, which is quite large, I think. The Media Lab, the Chess Club, and the academics, and another academic statue to fill things in with. So we'll actually just leave this the way it is for now. We'll pull this over a little bit. Not with the Move It mod. We'll just actually just normally move it to, say, here. Then we will take a path from, now this is where it gets a little bit more fun. Definitely gonna have to anarchy that in, not gonna get that in any other way. But it works. I want one behind here, over to here, and come out maybe there. So once again, where are our trees? Huge brush. Nobody needs that. In fact, I think we may even be able to... I think we can zone things on these paths, university buildings, so we may, like, put a dormitory over in here. No, we'll put another groundskeeping office. That's a better idea. Wait a second. Education and campus area. Yeah, we could put more groundskeeping in here, for example. Put another futsal club in here. We'll do that the other way around. We'll put the groundskeeping over in here. And the extra futsal club in here. So we'll also drop a dorm on there, I think. No, we'll drop a faculty or two back in here, exactly. Because we don't even have any of those yet. Not entirely sure whether or not they do us any good, but we do have them. So we may as well use them. I think we might even be able to get one or two back in here as well, still. Use anarchy so we can keep that road. Yes, thank you. I think that works well. Let's add another statue or two over here, or a park. Or an outdoor study, if that'll fit. No, it's a little bit too big for that. Could add one over here, though. We don't necessarily want to do that, though. Add a fountain back in there. That works. That was the outdoor study. Where was the statue that we were looking for? There. Oh, that's right. And we can, yeah, and then we'll add, like I was saying, another dorm back in here. And tree back up. So, in fact, we might be able to add another dorm. Well, no, not a dorm, but maybe a fountain, or a futsal club, or a math club. Yeah, we can still get another math club in there. That also works. So, all of this just nestled in nicely between the trees. So, what's the story on our campus attractiveness? We high enough yet? 1475. So, I think we're going to want to start adding our first varsity sports teams. Because we don't have access to museums yet. The question is just which teams do we think are going to make the most sense and or will even fit in here reasonably well. Obviously a football stadium is a no-go. Track and field is just barely going to fit. So we'll actually go with that. Because I think we can still get, yeah, we can still get this in here as well. And that should leave us enough space for the other institutes. While giving us some varsity sports to make our campus more attractive, but still not attractive enough. So, if you're going to force us to add things like statues, then we'll just add things like statues or outdoor studies or whatever. Where can we find room? Again, this is why we kind of plan to have the varsity sports on the other side of everything from the get-go. Doesn't really say how much it increases attractiveness, but with these does it. We kind of have to guess. I think we might be able to get a math club in here. Maybe another futsal in here. Possibly even a dorm in here. No, I can't get a dorm. That's going a little bit... That's stretching it just a little bit too much. We can get more groundskeeping in though. So we'll actually use anarchy now for this one, because they're just not letting us put it in. So what are we looking at? 1805. So our attractiveness is now high enough to get to the final level. We just need 6 academic works. And I think we may find out by the end of this episode whether or not we manage to get those or not. We still have 3,800 students. We're still making 10,000 a week off of a month off of this, so everything's working just fine for the most part. And we'll implement come one, come all. Why not? I mean, it's not like we have a huge amount of public transport to lose money on match day. It's kind of a fault. They may get us for false advertising on that. Now that I think about it, come to Liftstrom, watch our teams play. Free public transportation to and from the matches. What public transportation? We didn't say anything about us providing the public transportation. We're going to want a path there. Definitely going to want a path there. And we're going to want to put trees around our stadiums as well, of course. I'm just gonna finish this up quick. There. Track and field and baseball are right next to each other. Probably even gonna have match day on the first day. Close enough for it to be a real problem if it gets bad. We'll see. And again, once we finally finish this academic year, and if we get the number of academic works we need, which might happen, we're going to get one for sure. We have an 85% chance to create more. Building bonus. Buildings? What buildings give us a 5% bonus on that? That's something to find out. Is that the academic? Is that the faculty? I don't think so. Campus attractiveness, tourism attractiveness, and land value. Boosting academic work creation. That's the laboratories, so we'll actually want at the danger of having to tear them out again, or in fact actually knowing that we probably will tear them out again. That's, I think, the better way to put it. We're actually going to throw 4 laboratories in here just to boost our academic works creation to 100%. And now we should be getting through this basically as soon as possible. And once this academic year is over and or we have these academic works, I'm kind of hoping that's going to happen at the same time, then we'll just tear these 4 labs out. How much student space did all of that just cause anyway? And we also have to remember, though, that we have to make sure that our campus attractiveness actually stays above this level, because if it goes down below this level, even if we have the academic works and the students, then we're still going to actually lose a level. And that's going to cost us money then in the long term. And in the short term, and just flat up going to cost us money, period. So, this appears to be slowly recovering from its sudden rezoning. I don't really want to cause a huge amount of flooding, but there's a part of me that just wants to terraform Zurbistan right now, even though that would be a horrendously bad idea as far as like flooding and things go. Wow, that bad, huh? So what we may do is create a residential area specifically. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll turn this into another residential area. Possibly even a little bit more right down in here. Specifically to feed industry. Because that's our biggest problem, is that industry demand is just... We're constantly running out of the people to run our industry, basically. Because we just don't have enough... Yeah, we have an unemployment rate of 1%. We have 10,000 more jobs than we have people to take them. Oh, but that university is really already looking kind of nice. So yeah, we will boost our industry jobs, or our industry, well, citizenship, so to speak. I really wish that we still had sounds, but we'll get that back. Again, next episode or so. Just... No, we want that to be there. I mean, this is, of course, also slightly risky because there's always a chance that we may actually wind up having to expand the industry area, and then this will become a huge problem. But I think we'll do fine. So, as far as highway connections out go, that's kind of the no-brainer here. That actually means that this is going to hilariously split up to 3. You're going to have to give them an extra node in here. And then down to 2. And then down to 1. And so we will then move this out just a hair. And move this one out just a hair. Just to kind of like give them all a little bit more space to merge in. So now that gives them basically access to both directions. So all we need now is a line coming off of that and a line going off of that. And those should be relatively easy to do. Thinking take one of them here off of this bridge. Yeah, that's gonna work. exactly the way we wanted it to. Flare this up to 4 lanes again real quick. And in fact, can we go real sneaky with this one? Actually make it a left lane. Turn off that. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it in time. Kept the chat. Can we just like hyper sneak through here? I say that may be a little bit too sneaky. Although it does say that that works, so if that works, then we can make... Oh, that's not going to work. No, we can't go that hard. That's just not going to... Although if we lower this bridge a little bit, and there's no reason we can't... Now that could actually totally work now. Yeah, I can see that. As working. Slope is actually not too steep, and it does pass those lines. Yeah. So the only thing that's a little bit screwy is that it goes through that bridge support. And we'll just make this 2 lanes. In one direction, of course. And that'll give them both directions. So that's off from both, and that's on to both. They have enough lanes to switch over. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so this is our new little oilidential area, so to speak. They have a high-rise ban, right? Yeah, they do have a high-rise ban. Excellent. So that's not even something we have to worry about. And, yeah, roads. Exactly. They need more roads. More roads, more roads, more roads. What was I thinking? Yeah, I was thinking we want to take the outside roads and turn those into 4 lanes. 4-lane 2-way. Prop and tree anarchy is still on. That's what we want. We may also... Well, not we may. We will probably also give them an outside ring of commercial then. Just towards the highway. So that means we're also going to need a commercial specialization here for blah blah and blah blah, as usual. That we're just going to put right up against the highway. There, that's done. And now we need our main roads on the inside, which we're obviously not going to get if we turn off the tools. Again, not going to get if we turn off the tools. And here we're actually going to go with a traditional, I don't know if that's the right word, but with a standard T-junction. Got some room in there. That's okay. What did I want to do now? I wanted to put some smaller roads in here on the side, exactly. Again with the T-junction that nobody wants, nobody needs, nobody loves. But in this case, it's going to be just flat out the right thing for us. They don't have water out here yet. We can change that. It's actually something we haven't paid attention to these last few episodes and might want to. So garbage services are fine. Not surprising being that close to an industrial zone. Medical is fine. Give them some elder and child care. Just in our standard 1x1. I don't think they're going to need a large police or fire department. They shouldn't. Education. Give them a elementary school and their own high schools. In fact, we'll give them 2 elementary schools and a high school. No need to be stingy. We'll put the high school in here. And that's where we'll also just add like some small parks. Maybe a bouncy house or something like that. Yeah, large park with trees isn't going to go in here anywhere. Small playground, small park. I'll just put a small park there and a... Well, actually, the large park with trees, that was the whole reason we left this area open, wasn't it? Exactly. Because that just fits in there perfectly. So we'll put the small park there and just like a playground next to it. There. That's the small? No, that's the large. I was about to say. In fact, we'll put the small playground. In fact, you know what? We'll just kind of leave it the way it is because they do have playgrounds like here in the elementary schools. Those do kind of count. So that needs to go off again. Connect this one up just right to the corner. No reason not to. All of that's already basically connected. And you know what? We'll actually put our first low-density residential area out here as well. Or our first new low-density residential area. And the rest gets zoned as high. And that, with a bit of luck, will help really sort our industry workforce problems. We'll just see if any of this comes in at all first. We've already got the first nutbags that think this is a good idea, so apparently we're not the only ones. Again, they can get out here, onto that one, immediately turn around there, no issues there. And from here and from here, they can come in from there. So that's just working fine. Or at least it should be working fine. We'll find out soon enough, now that people actually live here. That said, this is something we'll want to manage. But I think they should actually do fine. Especially now, since they have the option of building some low density here on the coast. And in fact, we'll give them a little bit more coastland actually to work with. That's way too much. That's way too strong, I mean. Just want to create like some reasonably large low density homes on this. And not just like only one tile. Because it's all just too steep. Obviously this may cause some flooding as a result of water coming back at some point in time, but yeah, we'll worry about the water coming back when it actually comes back. I don't think we're going to cause significant flooding like in other parts of the city. That's not going to be a problem. This is far enough away. Especially since it's out here on an island on the coast. So again, that's not going to be the problem we're going to have. High density appears to be coming in. The low density doesn't appear to be wanting to do much, but we'll just keep a watch on it. So these people live over in oil! 150,000 people we've already got. What's the story here? Whoa, 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 whoa. We need to boost that number real fast. Otherwise, we'll actually lose reputation level. Why do we suddenly have so few people wanting to go to university? Is that really just because of the schools out policy? That would be hilarious. Come on, come on, come on. You can do this. I mean, there's what? How many more weeks? We're probably not going to get the requisite number of academic works anyway, so it's not really a major issue. And as more people move in, then we're going to get more students again, so again, not a huge problem, but a bit of a surprise that we went from what, 3,000 something students all of a sudden down to 900. But it's starting to go up. The question is it going to go up fast enough for us to be able to keep our reputation? If not, if we can't keep this level, then no matter how many academic works we have, we'll just actually go and just take the money out and just say, just let it run. Oh my god, I did not expect this at all. This is totally a surprise. But yeah, again, I think we'll just let it run after this. Don't really see any reason to spend this huge amount of money on the university. Not necessarily because it's not because the people aren't there, but just because yeah, we can get this also to a point where it's not losing as much money relatively easily. And that'll just mean that we'll just basically let the university run, and eventually it will level up by itself, so to speak. Because the student capacity is still, amount of students is still going down, hilariously enough. Yeah, we're down to 812 students. It was 900 when we tried to stop people leaving the university. Well, wait a sec. We can actually see if universal education doesn't help. If that doesn't just totally jam that up quick. Maybe we can cheese that. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it this year. But I mean, we've had 3 solid years of growth, so. I'm just noticing, yeah, like 1 day is basically a year. Or 1 hour is basically a year. Yeah, we lost our reputation level. Oh, and we actually almost stood to lose 2. We have 12 academic works now. So, yeah, as far as academic works go, we're going to slam this down. We are going to give them that for a guarantee for 1, and we're going to knock out these 4 laboratories. And we'll just let it run. I mean, it's still we're down to 644 students? Seriously? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just surprised that it's really gone down that far. Oh, that's right, and we can now drop universal education as well, so that we're at least making some money back from it. Probably won't even cover expenses at this point. But at least yeah, we can get our level back. Oh, yeah, we did actually drop down a level. Okay. So where did we put that new residential area in? We put that in over here. And that appears to be coming in just fine. And our worker complaints are going down. No place for goods is fast. With 6, that's okay. No customers with 3, that's also okay. So yeah, that was what this area needed. Again, this district does have a high-rise ban, right? Yes, it does. Is that organic and local? Oh no, we didn't. Did we not set an organic and local specialization? That is a huge mistake. Very sorry, guys, but those buildings need to go. That's just going to be too loud to be right next to a residential area. Yeah, we don't have music in the background or anything, really. We're definitely going to reload the game before next episode, but since this is the last episode I'll be filming today, that's Not a huge problem. And this is still coming in. So they have room for expansion. We just really need to expand the population for that expansion to actually happen. So I think we wanted to pull a train or metro line over here as well. We'll have to take a look into that soon. That may actually be the reason we have so few students. No, we're already easily back up to the level we were. In fact, we're so far back up to the level we were that we actually are going to increase the academic staff. Because we might actually be able to get those academic works in a reasonable amount of time after all. And it's not like it's going to bankrupt us. So, yeah, but without music, it really is... Now I'm really starting to be annoyed by not having sound. Starting to get to a point where I'm actually feeling it, realizing it. But I think we can live for another 10 minutes. That just came in. Yeah, all of this is... Oh, wait a sec. Do they have a post office? Always want a post office. No, and they don't have anything in the way of postal services. So, yeah. Bing. Here's your post office. Now, upgrade should basically just start flying. Because, I mean, they're really reasonably well served for everything. Entertainment is a bit iffy. We might, in fact, that's something we could do. Could add, like, some piers here out towards the sea. Just like floating restaurants and cafes. That should also basically solve that entertainment complaint for the most part. Park areas look to be doing fine. Is this zoned as a... Oh no, it's zoned as an industrial area, that's right. So we'll actually knock out the industrial area zoning back here. Just so that we have a better view here in this particular set. Oh yeah, these are all of the new Fishburg assets. Yeah. I think that should mostly sort everybody. I wish I could hear the ping, 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 but again, I think those will work. 1166 numbers are decent. We're at 155,000 population. And we haven't built a single super high rise yet. Or like there might be one or two somewhere, like here for example, where for some reason there was a zoning issue and we wound up with mega shopping centers. We'll actually leave those. Those are like the original Twin Towers, so to speak. This one I don't like. What's the reason for that? Is it like between districts or... No, it's totally in the middle of that district. Well, it was apparently just built late. We'll take another look at those later. I mean, it's not so bad to have like the occasional building popping up like that. That actually looks pretty nice. When it's only like one every so often. In fact, well, yeah, you know what? We'll totally leave this just like that. Because that way those standard buildings just because they're just that little bit higher, almost become like mini landmarks. Especially when they've got like two together like that, or it's just one residential building standing out here in the middle of nowhere for no apparent reason being that high. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work just fine. And I think we may just finally decide that this road has no reason to exist. So, 18 businesses without workers. I'm going to guess those are actually going to be primarily in our commercial zones. Am I going to be right or wrong with that? No, a lot of that is actually still here in the industry area, so this residential zone is definitely something that needs to happen, and we will actually, as dumb as it sounds, it's probably going to screw our university again, but we will re-implement schools out. And yeah, we'll just drop our investment there and just let it run. And now our expenses should go down to roughly what our tuition is, and that should be that. We may add more residential back in here. Not really a fan of that, but it may actually be necessary. Because the oil industry appears to be surprisingly hurting for workers. Or we'll implement Industry 4.0, that might work too. But I mean, they're also having an issue. Yeah, we just need more residential, I'm going to say, right? We need more people. Yeah, we still have 1% unemployment, so we just need more people to come in. That's what has to happen. And with more zones like this closer to the industry, that will happen. But it's just going to take time. We do already have some low density residential buildings out here. Why is that high density? That's totally wrong. That explains why we thought I thought we had a low density residential building in there. So it is the high density that's filling up, and it is actually filling up reasonably fast. I mean, we're getting 220,000 people. Yeah, right now 220 people a week moving in. Traffic here is totally manageable. That's really nice to see. I mean, that said, there's no commercial traffic, so there's no reason at all for like trucks to come through here, because none of this should actually be reasonably shorter than any of the paths they already have at their disposal. And I think that's almost all the traffic lights. Yeah. In fact, while we're at it, we'll go in and set turning lanes. Did I just turn despawning off? No. So set turning lanes on the outside. And now we set turning lanes on the inside. This one doesn't even have them, so that should all now be solved. Yeah, I got some micro gumming right there for a second, but nothing horrendous. Again, some micro gumming here just because a few people want to turn around. So yeah, putting that in I think was probably a good idea. putting more in might be an even better idea. And again, we have a large residential area basically carved out over here. And if necessary, like a supporting commercial area over here. We still haven't even really started our main city. This is again probably also going to be another commercial area. This may be our first, again, high-rise commercial, where just everything is level 3. We will definitely have to take a look at that, but I'm fairly certain that we're over time again. So with that, yeah, you guys have been great. I've been Zerb. If you've liked what you've seen, then please feel free to follow me on Twitch or like and subscribe on YouTube. And I hope to see you again tomorrow with another episode from New Fishburg. Not New Fishburg, with another episode from Liftstrom. In fact, yeah. Cheers.